This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and we're welcoming you to Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Welcome, you are a huge part of our show, and sweet baby James, our producer, knows how to make you an even bigger part of our show.
Right? Hey, you know, you're watching us on over 219 stations and growing across this great country of ours, and the American Forces Network internationally. Now, you can go to our website at dailyflashshow.com, click on where to watch, and find out where we are in your neck of the woods. And you can send me an email at flash@dailyflashshow.com and say, James, you look so handsome.
They're not going to
today.
do that, James.
They're not? Okay. Jeez.
As much as you want it. I mean,
you know, something. I know.
I know we're big in prisons.
I know.
Huge.
All right. I say all that because I want you to comment on my question of the day. Now, the question of the day, what's one place you've been that exceeded your expectations?
Ooh,
You got one, Jackson?
exceeded. I can't think that. I know there was one recently. Mitch, do you have one?
I'm going through my Rolodex. I used to do a lot of traveling, and I think places like when I went to Knoxville, you have a vision in your mind of what it's going to be like, and then you meet, and you're like, oh, this is really, really cool.
Maine.
Maine? Okay.
Have you ever been to the state of Maine?
Yeah.
I am telling you, it is stunning. Exceeded all expectations. And I tell you what, outside of Portland, Maine, we were looking for one of those lighthouses, which happened to be shut down. But there was this parking lot adjacent to the lighthouse, and it was packed with cars. I'm like, where are all these people going? Like, I couldn't figure it out. There was this tiny little shack up on the rocks that overlooked the ocean.
Sure.
We're like, what is going on here? We asked somebody, like, oh, lobster shack. We walked up there. I am telling you, the best lobster roll I've ever had in my life.
I believe
And
it.
you sat on the rocks with the ocean. It was unbelievable.
wow. I would love that.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exceeded.
I got one is weird.
Where at?
It was when I was playing football at Wyoming. So
love
we
to go
played
to
against the
Wyoming.
University of Wyoming.
Really?
And I stepped off the plane. I was like, oh, it's different here. The air is just like, it's different here. So it was nice. It was beautiful. So, you know, I like riding horses. So, you know.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous,
I used to
Wyoming, that
back in the
part.
day.
I
When I was smaller.
When I got a job out west, and the first week, you live in a hotel and everything, and I remember just waking up looking at the mountains and like of Utah and Salt Lake, and I'm like, this is just, I can't believe this.
Beautiful.
Where have I been my whole life that I've never seen this? And there's so much of that we've not done, so it's important to do traveling.
Very true. Very true. All right. Well, let us know what you think. What sort of experience or place has exceeded your expectations? Dailyflashshow.com is the website. Flash@dailyflashshow.com is how you can email us or just sound off.
Yeah.
I want to get your guys' take on this because you both have you have children. You've experienced this before. Small Pennsylvania church has gone viral after embracing a policy that welcomes noisy kids in worship. The message sparking intense debate from both sides of the aisle. Now, I'm going to read you the memo in part. Okay, it reads, effective immediately. If a family is considering visiting Mount Washington Church in Pennsylvania and they have a loud kid, the following options are available. The family should bring the kid. That's option 1. Option 2, the family should make sure they bring the kid. Option 3, the family must see to it that they bring the child. And option 4, kids are welcome and expected. The memo adds that children's noise is not a distraction, but evidence of life, growth, and the future of the church. It concludes, if your child makes noise, you are not bothering us, you are blessing us. Policy enacted, no exceptions. Another widely circulated line captured the same sentiment. If your church services aren't crying, they're dying. So the memo, which originated at First Baptist Union in Mississippi, was reposted last week by this church in Yorktown, Pennsylvania. Didn't gain national attention until a columnist from the New York Times shared an image of the memo on X saying he loved it. Quickly amassed 1.4 million views, lit up convo, both for and against. What is your take on this when it comes to noisy kids in church?
I'm going to tell you, I go to Eatonville, a church in Eatonville, Macedonia.
Which, by the way, you should Google
Baptist
Eatonville.
Church.
It's the coolest city. No, it really is.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's
Great
the
history.
oldest black municipality in the U.S.
They just got a new mayor.
And we have an area for the kids where the kids can go and they have their own. The kids are watched over and so on and so forth. Or you or you can bring your kids to the sanctuary. And this Sunday, I had to go early morning with my 4-year-old. I put headphones on her, let her watch Zootopia while we were in church. Yeah. Not a peep. Now, I thought she was going to, scream and yell. Not a peep. I like the policy. I understand for some people it could be interruptive, or they're trying to listen to what the pastor is saying and trying to receive the word and so on and so forth. So I kind of like it, but at the end of the day, it's kids.
So you like having noisy kids in church?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
I don't mind it at all. I grew up in a church that kids would run around. I mean, not like I say run around. Kids were a big part of the church. I grew up Mormon, so you have 12 kids, right?
Yeah.
I got 5. So, and the solution to that is you just sit in the back. And the reason you sit in the back because the kids are going to get up and walk around, and I get that, and you understand that there's you're talking for them sitting there for an hour or whatever, and not understanding. Yeah, it's very hard. 100%.
Yeah.
And
it's hard for adults.
If you're up front, this happened just last Sunday when I went to church. There was a cute little girl, but that's all I was concentrating on was a cute little girl, and the guy was talking, and I was just watching, and they sat up front, and I don't blame them. I'm not mad at them or anything.
Right.
I can say this though. Something I'm very proud of my son Enzo, where he, in any day, any hour of the week, he's on his cell phone, right?
Yeah.
The whole time, right? And every time we go to church, I'm on my phone more than he is.
Really?
He doesn't even touch. I was like, I go, wow. I mean, and I'm not used to that because my natural kids, they if they had phones, they would be on it. And,
Right.
Of course.
And now we have like our hymns and stuff on our. And so once you pull it out and you're like, oh, I should check my Facebook now that I've read the song. But so I do feel good that maybe there might be a new generation that is kind of used to that sort of thing. But I think it reminds me of why I'm there at church is for families. And those kids need to understand that, it's boring, but it's an hour long and it's something that it was instilled in me. And I'm grateful that my parents took me to, I'm sure I was a hellion, 100%.
But I love it. I mean, Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way you should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So
Preach!
I love it. I think you should. I mean, let the kids be kids, and they appreciate church, and they don't have a problem with going once they feel welcome.
100%.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And you're going to have the kids tell you most religions are about family and that sort of thing.
I guess my question is, what about discipline? We've talked about this on the show. When it comes to screaming children, oftentimes the parents of the screaming child are so used to it, it doesn't really affect them.
That's true.
I was at an appointment the other day, and this kid was screaming at the top of their lungs, and the mom just sort of sat there and held it, and I'm thinking, do everybody a favor and just walk out. Just take the child outside. And all of us in a small room had to listen to this child scream bloody murder.
Yeah.
Not just once, but for 5 minutes straight.
And can I tell you, that is more than just like a single person voice. You're 100% right. Is that, like I said, I have 5 kids. I don't want to hear it. And you have to know it's there. And it's going back to church, at least they have speakers on the outside, and they have places where you can take them and you can still listen to what's going on so other people can be able to do that. I think it's all decorum and that sort of thing. But also, you go to church knowing the people that are there at church come from different backgrounds and everything.
Right, which is a good thing, which we all welcome.
I'm going to tell you, I grew up in church, small church back in the day. If a kid was crying, one of the church mothers would grab the kid, hold the kid, talk to the kid, and calm him down. So you have that older experience to help out the mom who may be overwhelmed. Right. That's the type of church I came from. So all the kids knew everybody.
Which I think in this day and age, it's kind of comforting to know that I don't know if that even exists anymore, but you've got an older generation teaching a younger generation, hey, here's what you need to do when you're out and this kind of thing happens. There is help for that.
And they have to be in that situation to understand how to act and that sort of thing. And it does come down to the parents 100%. And sometimes it's just like it's exhausting. Fathers need to be stepping up if with the kids as well. It's like, hey, look, mom's got them all ready. And, besides, take over and go out in the hallway.
I'm not a big fan of allowing the iPads and the phones to become the babysitter, but obviously in situations where you've got a screaming child, it does help. It is a pacifier.
If they're in front of me, I'm watching Zootopia.
That's right. She was quiet as a church mouse. I tell you, she had ADD.
I'm like looking at that. Your thoughts on this?
love to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you
Yeah.
at flash@dailyflashshow.com. Our website's always up and running for you. Anytime you can leave us a comment.
Yep, before we head to break, here is today's Brain Flash question. What is the hardest natural substance on Earth?
Ooh, my mom thought it was my head when I was in church. She pulled my head. No.
We've got that answer coming up next. More of today's Trends Tomorrow.
The actual answer, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Stick around.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's Brain Flash question right. Here is the question. What is the hardest natural substance on Earth?
My brain sometimes, I would imagine, I'm hard-headed. I would say, diamonds. Yeah, diamonds. There you go.
Diamonds, that was my guess too. So if you answered diamonds, you got the Brain Flash question right.
They use it in tools a lot.
That's right, the diamond cutters.
Diamonds, yeah,
Yes.
that's how strong it is. Well, we do definitely welcome you back to Daily Flash, and it is time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on, all right? With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Netflix is season 4 of The Lincoln Lawyer.
Every murder case is like a tree, and it's the prosecutor's job to feed and water that tree. I'm the man with the axe. I'm gonna cut that tree down to the ground.
How's he doing today?
Psychotically optimistic, and I kind of want to choke him.
I know that guy.
I'm being framed for murder. How much worse can it get?
Mickey, one thing I've learned working for you is things can always get worse.
Hotshot LA defense attorney Mickey Haller will do whatever it takes to win as he navigates the criminal justice system from his trademark Lincoln Continental. I chatted with series star Manuel Garcia Rulfo.
You know, it has its complexities, but it's very easy to follow. It has good cliffhangers. He has a little bit of comedy, you know, a little bit of the thriller, the legal thing. And like I said, I think people are drawn to see a guy that is always struggling with so many obstacles, and he's, you know, blah, blah. So, yeah.
In our final seconds we have, driving a 1963 Lincoln Continental has got to be a joy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's kind of a pain because when you're driving, we're shooting in downtown or whatever, you know, we have to cut constantly or repeat the scene because, you know, people are staring or, you know, always, you know, coming in and, oh, such a nice car. And like, we're shooting, man, wait. but I love it, man. I love it.
One of the absolute bright spots on the Netflix menu, The Lincoln Lawyer takes the format of criminal defense to a whole new and gripping level. Again, it's streaming on Netflix and gets an A. It's rated TVMA. Entering its second season on HBO Max is the hit medical series The Pitt. Again, The Pitt is streaming on HBO Max and gets an A. It's rated TVMA. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
All right, thank you there, Tony. It is time for that one story that's going to make you stop and just say, Mitch, please. You're going to love this one. In a luxury condo complex in Edgewater, New Jersey, dog owners are now required, it's no joke, to register their pet's DNA. Why?
Come on.
Well, the goal is simple. If someone doesn't pick up after their dog, management can test the poop, match it to the dog, and then hit the owner with a $250 fine. Yes, we have officially reached the point where society where dog poop is being sent to a lab like it's evidence from a true crime podcast. Supporters say it's actually working. There's fewer messes, fewer arguments, and a lot more responsible pet owners out there. Critics say, well, listen, that's a little too much. They're also basically living in a CSI spinoff called Paw and Order Special Canine Unit Crap Scene Investigation. And listen, I love clean common areas, but if your evening walk now feels like you're doing a surveillance with flashlight and notebook, maybe we've actually lost the plot a little bit, okay? The policy's been in place since the building went pet-friendly in 2022. Management says it's all about accountability. That's fair, but it also a sentence I never thought I'd ever hear used in the same breath is DNA, dog poop DNA, right? With decades spent teaching dogs how to sit. Now we're actually teaching humans how to scoop. And that is Mitch, please. I think I can appreciate them doing that, but taking the DNA is just a little. Now that they're invested into their dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I had to pay for this DNA stuff. Now they're invested in it. They're going to make sure that they don't, just in case they get hit.
I heard a story of a woman who was looking to rent a condo or buy a condo down in southeast Florida in the Palm Beach area. And as a requirement on the application, it asked you whether you had pets. And if you had pets, you had to provide a poop sample from your pet.
Already.
And then they would send that poop sample to the lab for DNA. That way, if somebody found poop in the common areas, they could pull up the pet DNA and figure out who the guilty party was who did not pick up after their pet.
So this is happening. Okay, but somebody has to go pick it up and then send it in. It's humiliating as it is for me to get the Colon Guard test thing. I got to walk in with UPS store with that big white box. They know what's in it. First off,
I know.
I don't want it. No way.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We are all standing by here for furry friends. We will start with this. A caretaker at a zoo in Poland captured a David and Goliath standoff between a tiny deer and a giant rhinoceros. Well, this video has already got more than 1 million views and counting. The clip shows the 50-pound deer squaring off with its 3,700-pound opponent in a snowy zoo enclosure. The deer's tiny legs propel it towards the giant rhino. The exchange leads to a final face-to-face before the rhino decides to run off after the mini deer treats him to a headbutt. Zookeepers said the 1.7-ton rhino decided to retreat rather than continue the face-off. Wow. Despite their recent confrontation, the pair remained friends. Follow-up video shows the two enjoying some hay as they stand side by side. Well, the Nashville Zoo welcomed a new bundle of joy on New Year's Day. The zoo's first ever aardvark calf was born at 6:06 a.m.
Whoa.
And their New Year's baby has a name, Happy the aardvark. The New Year's baby weighs in at roughly 4 pounds and is about the size of a rolling pin. Only 33 aardvarks are in accredited American zoos, and this calf is the 34th and the first to be born in the U.S. since 2024, making it a milestone for the species. Well, it was an unusual capture for police officers in Florida. An emu on the run in Florida near St. Augustine. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office recently shared video of the incident. On January 9th, SJSO responded to a runaway emu on a county road. Corporal Keisler attempted to secure the emu, but the large bird ignored his commands, kicked several times using its large talons, and fled on foot. After a short pursuit, Corporal Keisler was able to corner the emu and secure the giant bird with a makeshift lasso and used his handcuffs, believe it or not, to secure his large talons to prevent him from running away. The corporal said, "In my 25 years, I've never handcuffed an emu. It was definitely a new one." He said he made every effort to detain the emu without causing any harm to the large bird. The emu was eventually reunited with its owners and returned home safely. All criminal charges against the emu have been dropped.
That's good. You know, those things are they're dangerous, really, what they are. So, and then the police officer going into work that day had no idea that's what he was going to do. Now, I'm assuming he's probably arrested a few emos, but never an emu.
But never an emu.
Good
I think
effort.
you're right there.
Because grabbing those things like he had done, I mean, it could have turned bad. Those talons are really, really bad. Thank you there, Jackson.
Brave.
Indeed.
For sure.
Well, let's jump into some trending news stories that's happening around the world. An American tourist attraction has just been designated as the worst after a new global travel survey was released. And the Hollywood Walk of Fame took the title, believe it or not. Analysts actually looked at over 100 different tourist attractions around the world and came up with the worst destinations that disappoint viewers despite their global status. A travel company released the findings based on Google reviews, as well as airport accessibility, safety, and local accommodations. Reviews list the Hollywood destination as, get this, unsafe, run down, and full of shady figures. One traveler described it as more homeless than Hollywood. Other disappointing notables on that list: the Dead Sea, that's near Jordan, the Grand Bazaar, you could find that in Turkey, and believe it or not, the Great Wall of China, also disappointing as well. I would imagine with the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it takes you everywhere. Lord knows what you're going to see along the way, so I could see how it makes it into that list. Move on now, where a mom is taking heat for the way she traveled with her infant on a recent Delta Airlines flight. The woman, who was flying overseas on a 12-hour flight, was actually posted a photo showing herself crouched on the floor of an economy row as two tots slept across the window and the middle seats. She refused to pay for an extra ticket, so airline staff accommodated her as best as they could with that sold-out flight. Many accuse her of playing dumb and trying to score a free seat. That's what I think is doing. Delta's lap child policy allows children younger than 2 years of age flying free or at a reduced cost when seated on an adult's lap. Now, Delta could not confirm the photo's authenticity, but said that safety is also their top priority. And if you think about it, turbulence can happen at any time. If that kid's not strapped down, it's going somewhere. So you could see how the outrage was happening here, despite if it was a free seat or not. What do you think? We'd like to hear from you. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. We got more of today's talk and, of course, tomorrow's trends still to come here on Daily Flash. Our website is waiting for you. Just go to dailyflashshow.com, hit on the sound off button. You can send us a direct message, including your voice. You could hear it on the air. Stick around. You're watching Daily Flash. We love having you along. Yeah, we got to get that.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
Hi, I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends and tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with our stations across the nation. James Alexander.
You're watching us on more than 219 stations and growing across this great country of ours, the American Forces Network internationally. And guess what? You can find out where we are in your neck of the woods by going to dailyflashshow.com and clicking on where to watch, including our social channels. Now, our local friend today comes from Andrea's neck of the woods. Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh,
KGJT TV. KGJT TV. All right, I got some great stuff.
Grand
Okay.
Junction.
Grand
All right.
Junction.
So Grand Junction sits between the Colorado and Gunnison Rivers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. It's the gateway to the Colorado National Monument.
Yeah.
And the area is known for vineyards and, get this, peach orchards. Now, I always thought you can get your peaches from Georgia.
I know,
You
right?
know, the fruit and the ladies.
Yeah.
It turns out you can get it from Colorado too.
Palisade Peaches.
Oh, that's the name of Palisades?
Palisade
Oh, wow.
is the area, the neighborhood, and that's where the peach
Hey,
farms are.
can I tell you,
Wow.
I've seen, there's like 7 cities across the country that are like Junction City. Out of all of them, Grand Junction is the grandest. It is a Grand Junction. It is.
It is.
It's a wonderful place. I've driven through there, and your mother lives there, right?
Yeah, my mom lives there, so shout out to my mom.
Hey,
and,
what's
and
up,
all,
Mama
Hey, Mama.
all the folks at Solstice, the senior independent
That's
living
right, there you
community.
go, there you go.
You know, because occasionally they do watch us on their YouTubes.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah,
on their
hey,
phones.
y'all.
Yeah. So hi everybody.
I like it.
It is gorgeous because it's, as I was mentioning to James, there's the Colorado National
Mm-hmm.
Monument where they shoot a lot of car commercials. There is the Grand Mesa, and then there's the Book Cliff. So it's surrounded by all these beautiful land formations.
I am glad that you mentioned about the car commercials, because something's going on right now in California where people, listen, they're not making movies there anymore.
No, you're right.
You know,
Yes.
you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I watched Nuremberg, and they showed some actual like video, and the guy's like, "I'm from Hollywood, California. California, and oddly, I've never been. This is the first movie I've been in. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they're moving out left and right, and it's not because basically, that it's basically just because the economy there, and there's no really incentives to have a production in Los Angeles, and it's dropped significantly, as well as other big companies moving out of California because of basically the same reasons. So now these studios are the reason that like Florida, Georgia, even in Oklahoma, into Louisiana, they give them tax incentives. I mean, if you can make a movie here, they know that they're going to be bringing jobs and also gets to show a little bit about the economy. And New Mexico is another city as well. Well, California quit doing that. We're like, well, we're California, you don't need to, and that sort of thing. Well, now they're going back to doing that.
They should.
There's less jobs there altogether.
At one point, Michigan was doing 50% back. And to give you some
That's
numbers
a lot.
on that, major Hollywood studio film, this is all California, $70 million on average. Top grossing blockbuster film, between 200 and 274 million on average. Streaming platform movies, 50 to 88 million. Independent films, up to 3 million. And a daily production cost in California is up to $300,000 per day.
Per day. I mean, so you basically outprice yourself in every which way, from the catering to the acting to the producing to the permits. I mean, you name it, it's so expensive and so much red tape to get through just booking a location in California. Not to mention the fact that you're taxed to the end all be all. So half of your pay is already out the door. And so you mentioned a number of companies leaving: Tesla, SpaceX, Chevron, Oracle, X, formerly Twitter, Hewlett-Packard, Charles Schwab, McKesson, Palantir, Blue Diamond Growers closing their Sacramento plant, Levi Strauss laying off hundreds and hundreds of people. So these are all big companies
leaving
that are calling,
the Golden State.
There was
Disney, it was going to come, and then they changed their mind.
You know, there's a big complaint when they played the Super Bowl on how the players were taxed because they ate up a ton of the money because so they're saying we don't want to play in California anymore.
Exactly.
Because we shouldn't be playing for free.
You're getting paid less
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, and also too, there's 50 other states or 49 other states that you could be able to check out as well.
That is true.
So we would love to hear your thoughts. Head to our website, flash@dailyflashshow.com.
Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Look at that. You're at the intersection of Daily Flash, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Life Love Shopping. This is your lifestyle guide from A to Z. If you live it, you love it, or you buy it, we talk about it. And everybody is talking about how much they love this. First Lady Melania Trump is setting records at the box office. Her new documentary, Melania, hit theaters on January 30th. Its opening weekend hauled in $8 million. That's a record for a documentary. Critics weren't fans, but the audience has been showing some serious love for the movie. Ticket sales and rave reviews continue to bring out fans who follow Melania's style, her grace, and admire her role as First Lady.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Come on in. Our proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker in the fire. Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
There you go. It is doing great at the box office, and she has one of the best sunglasses games I've ever seen. Well, who needs Hinge when you can fall in love with someone who can install a hinge? A Maryland woman had just purchased furniture from Target and needed someone to help lug it up the stairs and put it together. She had hired a couple of guys who refused the job once they realized they had to move the furniture from the ground floor to her upstairs apartment. And to be fair, TaskRabbit does require your project to be in your home and ready for the build. Her final handyman wasn't looking looking for a job that day, but he accepted after seeing her profile picture. She didn't shy away from asking him if he was single, and the rest, as they say, is dating history. The two recently celebrated getting hitched and calling New York their forever home. Sweet Hearts has released a new batch of those chalky heart-shaped candies with fresh new sayings this year. At the beginning of every year, Sprangler Candy Company releases a fresh batch of the tiny edible hearts with new sayings. This year's phrases were less flirty than usual. The candies seem to offer financial advice instead of romantic gestures, with sayings like split rent, share login, carpool, family plan, buy in bulk, and cook for two. While the brand had the best intentions with this year's release of new sayings, the joke did not seem to land well with their customers. Well, here's a twist in fashion and fur no one saw coming. Condé Nast is suing a Beverly Hills dog magazine titled Dog, claiming the publication's name and logo infringes on their trademark fashion mag, Vogue. Dog is a tiny mag filled with photos of four-legged fashionistas and mimics Vogue's layout, style, and overall appearance. The lawsuit asks that Dog be shut down, its trademark application denied, and that the magazine pay damages to Condé Nast. Vogue's U.S. monthly circulation is approximately 1.2 million, priced at $12 an issue. Dog is free online and available for purchase for $25 an issue at one Beverly Hills newsstand. The owner of Dog has refused to say whether she will fight the lawsuit or give into their demands. Well, you can always catch up on everything Life Love Shopping on our website, llsshow.com. Once you're there, you can find previous episodes. You can find more about me. You can also share your insight and info by joining the conversation. You can follow us on all our socials. They're all posted right there and easy to find. Life Love Shopping, your life and style guide from A to Z, llsshow.com.
For the third consecutive year, LG Electronics USA is deepening its commitment to student well-being by partnering with the National Alliance on Mental Illness. This year, LG will award the host schools of the men's and women's 2026 NCAA Final Four $10,000 each to expand access to critical mental health resources for student athletes.
Today, LG is on the campus of IU Indy, and we partnered with our longtime partners, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, as well as WNBA player Lexi Hall, who's on the Indiana Fever, to host an honest conversation around mental health for student athletes.
I mean, I was really excited to get to talk about mental health and how I feel like I've been able to get better at taking care of my mental health, and get to talk to current student athletes at this college was really special. And I hope that, they can take tools that I shared today and take them into their daily lives.
I love LG, life's good. And for a student athlete, it's very important that they know life is good. And why am I saying that? Because if you think about it, micromanaging their stats, micromanaging their performance, micromanaging their physical well-being, having to practice all the time. Sometimes you can be on that treadmill of your athletic performance and lose sight of life being good.
For the last 5 years, LG has been on a mission to leave the host universities where the men's and women's Final Fours are held in a better place.
The athletes who experienced, the difficult time and experience how, people handled the hardship and how they did overcome the hardship.
Not reading Instagram comments. I think in the age of social media and how much pressure and opinions and feedback you get online, it's important just not to read it.
To be able to have an honest conversation with an athlete that they can relate to and mental health resource organization was something that was really productive and I think helped us towards that mission.
Tax day is right around the corner, and if you haven't filed yet, it's time to get it done. Here's what you should know.
With the April 15th deadline fast approaching, Jackson Hewitt Chief Tax Officer Mark Stieber is sharing what you need to know to get your taxes done now.
There's still time to file, but now is the time to get it done. Gather your tax documents, including forms like W-2s, 1099s, along with any records related to credits and deductions you may qualify for, especially if you worked overtime or earned tip income last year. Working with a tax professional can give taxpayers added confidence their return is being handled correctly, especially when their tax situation is more complicated.
If you're considering an extension, it's important to understand the difference between filing and paying.
One of the biggest myths in taxes is that an extension gives you more time to pay. It doesn't. It only gives you more time to file your paperwork. The IRS still expects you to pay by April 15th. Miss that deadline and you could face interest and late payment penalties. If you can't pay in full, still file on time and work with the IRS on a payment plan. The worst thing you can do is simply not file at all.
To learn more, visit jacksonhewitt.com.
The Great New York Auto Show is underway, and Test Miles' own Nick Miles joins us to share the latest the auto industry has to offer. Hey, Nick.
Welcome to the floor of the New York International Auto Show. The theme here, families, adventure, and fuel economy. Subaru rolling out a brand new Subaru Forester Wilderness Hybrid. Now with 25% fuel economy savings, but everything you expect from a Wilderness, the 9.3 inches of ground clearance, all of those nice bronze accents, big screen on the inside, capability and symmetrical all-wheel drive. Not the only vehicle that they showed here this year. They also showed the vehicle called the Getaway, best ever, an electric three-row SUV that has the most power they've ever had in an electric SUV at Subaru, 420 horsepower. It also has big screen on the inside, all-wheel drive, and it has the Tesla charging port, the access to 25,000 Tesla charging stations. Now, the big news of the show, the mouth drop, was Hyundai's new Boulder concept going directly up against Jeep and against Ford's Bronco. This vehicle was designed after a 1950s fridge, according to the designers, but it'll be built in America. It's a ladder-on frame, and it will actually use American-made steel. So we're looking forward to seeing a final version of this in the future, but Hyundai got a lot of new cars coming. They also walked away with an award this year. They had the World Performance Car of the Year trophy in their booth, thanks to the Ioniq 6N. This vehicle, which has 641 horsepower, a super powerful all-electric performance car, looks a little bit like a Porsche on the back end. In New York City, you see a lot of deliveries going on, and delivery drivers will be driving this in the future, the Honda Fastport E-Quad. This vehicle I drove around the show floor. It has changeable batteries, does 20 miles on the first 2 batteries, then swap them out, and it can use bike lanes as well. Honda also showing off the new Prologue, but the news here is not the car, the price. They dropped it by $7,500. Now an all-electric SUV for under $40,000 thanks to them. Now, tires are a big issue in America because they cost a lot of money, and you never know what tire you put on your electric car or your gas car. Well, Nexen have changed the narrative. The N-Press S with this vehicle, now your vehicle can have this tire on it. The tire actually is guaranteed on electrics and hybrids for 60,000 miles, on gas for 80,000 miles, and it uses AI technology to keep your tire worn evenly. All right, finally want to take a look at the brand new wingback from Genesis. This vehicle is a wagon, it's a concept, it would be perfect for me and my 6 dogs. That's what's going on the floor of the New York International Auto Show. I'm Nick Miles, and I love my job.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
So, Matty of Birkenshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, dog and cat, it's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the media.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English alongside Andrea Jackson.
It is Gordon Ramsay as we have never seen him before. In this new docuseries, Ramsay opens the doors to his home and businesses in the lead up to his biggest restaurant venture to date. This is Being Gordon Ramsay.
Oh my God, come on. Yeah. I need just one more cushion behind.
Do you know, he's like the Princess and the Pea, isn't he?
No, just like, there you go. 22 Bishopsgate is the most ambitious project I've ever opened in my entire life.
You know I'm scared of heights.
No, oh, can you tell me now? 5 businesses under one roof. If Bishopsgate was to fail, yeah, I'm
Look how far you can see. People think that they know Gordon.
Sadly, it's overcooked a touch. We've gone for the aesthetics over the quality, and we start taking some more risks.
He's someone who dreams big.
Lads.
But you know what? He's just Gordon to me. It's like 30 years since we got together. And
Sorry,
what?
a little coffee shop there. Come
Are
back,
you
hold that moment for one thought.
It drives me mental.
The way Dad is in the kitchen, in a stressful environment, he reacts the way he does for perfection.
Run the food, now.
He's a very different person to what he is on set. He's just Dad.
It is very hard when someone has a job as demanding as Gordon.
The roof's not on yet. It looks terrible. How many weeks do we open? 20 weeks? The budget is £20 million, and I'm doing that personally. That's already. Jesus Christ. It's feeling more real. I grew up on a council estate in Daventry. I still remember my school uniform, having holes in my second-hand trousers. There's always that needle of fear. You're gonna lose it. I've lost stars, closed multiple restaurants over my career. That's what puts extra fuel in my tank. Sucks!
We're looking at an 8-week delay.
It is very stressful. This isn't working. Flavours are incredible. Seriously, well done. It's just a little bit too straight-laced. Talented chef, need to dig in. I think I may retire after Bishopsgate. Absolute. There's so much riding on this, reputationally, financially. You have to be better than good. It scares the shit out of me. Holy shiza Manelli! This thing is gonna take...
Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Be good, everybody.
Bye-bye.